compulsory education, it is a practice, it is not a practical solution. Thank you so much.
My name is Aditya Shankar Dikshit. Human beings as individuals have always existed as a collectivity in a society. And as such, we've always had this fascination with the egalitarian and utopian society. Skeptics continue to say that we live in a world where this is an unachievable dream. Well, friends, I stand before you today saying that it is achievable, it is realizable. And the way forward, free and compulsory education for all. History has stood witness to the fact that it was always the flame of education that led to social change in the world. Whether it be in the form of new methods of war, economics, industrial revolution, the French Revolution, anything. Learning, which is characteristic of education, has always been a central feature of social change, putting education at the helm of any kind of change in society. Consider the example of sex education. This form of education has not only helped us increase awareness about STDs, but also has helped us reduce their transmission by half in countries which pursued sex education policies vociferously. Another front that is related to this is overpopulation. It threatens us as a very species. The pressure on natural resources is tremendous and ever increasing because of the amount of population growth rate. Life will become unsustainable if population continues to grow. But again, even a malady as aggressive as this can be cured with the medicine of education. Case in point, Iran was able to cut down its population growth rate by half in just 20 years by pursuing not repressive policies that China does, but a powerful education system. They were able to do it through awareness drives. Let me take another example that is far closer to home. India. Would you friends not agree with me when I say that in India, dowry is one of the biggest social evils that hamper our growth as a society? It is empirically proven that among the educated class, cases of dowry have reduced drastically when compared to the uneducated sections of society. Where education can be the instrument.
Right. So we're now coming again a little closer to home now, understanding that in Delhi there are private schools. You and I are from private schools themselves. Considering that private schools are part of the private sector, and if those become free, there will be no private. That amount of money that is going from private sectors will decrease the GDP. So what do you have to say about that?
It won't, as simple as that. When education can be the instrument of our salvation, why? Why do we insist on not giving it to those who can't afford it? Allow me to take a global angle on this. The processes of ghettoization and intensification of ethnic or religious identities is something that I have studied as a sociology student. Well, when people are educated, they form an exclusive club, and that club is not accessible to everyone in society. When people don't have access to education of any kind at any level whatsoever, they retreat into their shells further, seeking in comfort in what they know is familiar, giving rise to what is one of the biggest threats to our society, terrorism. If you look at this closely, you will realize that books are better alternatives, are more prudent alternatives to fighting terrorism than guns. Education as a system was meant to be the beacon of hope and light for all of us, not just those who have the money to afford it. Today, I implore all present here, every one of you, don't let it be the kind of power that is found only in the vaults of the rich and the opulent. Let it be the kind of power which, much like the Force in Star Wars, surrounds our society, binds us together, and penetrates our minds. Makes us all into the luminous beings that we are meant to be. And well, if the arguments of the opposition are to be considered, well, you will only find education in the houses of the opulent, not in the houses of somebody like Abdul Kalam, APJ Abdul Kalam. Thank you.
Now, one thing that the proposition hasn't